Hold on a second, I need to add a new window capture. Yeah, done. Hey, you can see it, right? hmm So today we'll keep practicing about IELTS. So without further ado, let's get into it. Yeah, and there's my class over here. I'll give a fuck about that. Let's see. So our first topic today is films. So let's talk about films. What films do you like? Mm, personally, I have a strong love for films and a variety of genres. Yeah, and but if I have to say what are the most movie, I would say the horror movie, which is what films do you like? I would say that horror because to me that it horror movies usually have to pay closely attention to visual effects, in which that they will try to create the spooky details as close to the reality as possible. Yeah. So did you often watch films when you were a child? Uh, Absolutely yes. In fact, when I was a child, I often watch some action movie on HBO, which is a movie streaming platform, and the reason that I decided to watch movies instead of cartoons when I was a child is because I like the feeling that I like the feeling of the movie, the story and the content as well as the visual effects of the movie. So movies. So you ever go to the cinema alone as a child? Hmm. To be honest, I have never been to. Yeah, have never been to a cinema until I was about 17 years old. Sorry, for like 16 years old. That is because to me that I am not a huge fan of cinema. Yes, which is why I if I had to say which yeah, did you ever go to the cinema? No, absolutely not. Because to me that cinema is something that from have to me it is something like time consuming, and me as a child I even consider that I even had that thought in my mind when I was a child. So up till now, I rarely go to the cinema. I have to say that. So do you often go to cinema with your friends? Mm. I would say that seldomly do I go to the cinema with my friends because to me the movie in cinemas, it is not as interesting as TV programs. And the last time I went to cinema happened for like 3 months ago, which me and my friends go to cinema went to cinemas to watch Oppenheimer, which is the father of nuclear weapons. Yeah. So do you think going to the cinema is a good way to spend time with friends? Hmm. In my opinion, I would say that uh, in I have to despite even though I'm not interested in cinema, I still have to say that it's the one of the best way to spend time with no friends, because after you watch any movie, you will have a feeling inside your head, and from that you can share moments and share experience with your friends. As a result, the relationship between you and your friends will be enhanced massively. So let's talk about mm, tea or coffee. What do you prefer, tea or coffee? Um, I would say that. Well, let's see. I would go for tea uh, because I have no interest in the you know in the bitterness of coffee. I mean, I have left to be up till now, even though I am currently for like 21 or 22 years old. I have never drink drunk coffee because yeah, and in the future, I don't think that I will. I don't think that I will, drink coffee because it it is bitter, and in fact, the caffeine inside the coffee makes me stay awake all day, which is not good for me when the night at night. Yeah. So, what do you usually prepare for your guests, tea or coffee? Uh, in my opinion, I would say that I usually prepare tea because uh, tea serving is kind of like a culture in Vietnam when it comes to serving guests, customers. That is because, and in addition to that, tea is also known to have a huge amount of nutrients inside it that could help us relieve anxiety. That is why I would like to prepare tea when guests come. When was the last time you drank coffee or tea? This morning. Yeah. Well, this morning I just drank a cup of iced tea. Yeah. And the reason that why I drank that is because it keeps me stay awake all day. It's still it's not as strong as coffee. Yeah, tea is not as strong as coffee, especially when it comes to if you drink it in the morning and you will stay awake until the evening. But if you drink coffee, you will stay awake for like all day until midnight. Yeah. And so, do you usually buy coffee in a coffee shop? I would say I do not buy. I do not always buy it. I would say yeah, because because as far as I know, coffee in the coffee shop is kind of expensive and cost me a lot of resources, financial resources to buy. I would prefer to buy it online on Amazon or Shopee, in which the price will be much more affordable, and I will. In addition to that, I will have more options. There will be a variety of options for me to choose. Like I would say that coffee. I would say that espresso or latte coffee. Uh, the option is diverse. So let's talk about musical instruments. Let's talk about musical instruments. So, which musical instruments do you like to listen the most? To listen the most, and why? Mm, let's see. In my opinion, I would go for piano because I think that's because I'm currently having a piano at home now, and I usually spend for like twice a week to play it. And and another reason for that is because you know playing piano helps me to relax after a hard day of work, which is why I usually spend for like at least twice a week to play it. So have you ever learned to play a musical instrument? Absolutely yes, and as I just mentioned before, I know how to play piano, and what makes me and I learned it from I would say that I learned it by myself from YouTube. Yeah, I didn't take any piano courses because I first of all I do not have the time, and secondly I am a person that have you know, a strong will, and have a good adaptations, which means that it'll play a crucial role in helping me to study literally for everything so quickly. So, do you think children should learn to play an instrument at school? Um, I would say yes, because children, because according to many research I have read before, uh, instrument helps enables human to activate their a part of their brain which is a cortical breaks, which is a part from our right brain, and this part will help us to to enhance creativity and enhance your carefulness. Yeah, which is why that uh, musical instruments should be a subject at school. Yeah. So how easy it will be to learn an instrument without a teacher? Hmm, fascinating. Let's see. I would say that it depends on what type of the musical instrument you are playing, you are learning, and your personality or I would say that your talent, your inner talent. Okay, so when it comes to the former, yeah, let's talk about the former first, and which is the type of instrument. If you just learn how to play such as like drum or piano or guitar, you can play it with literally without any support from the support of your teachers, because those are instruments that takes little or no endeavor to become master in it. But when it comes to learning for like a piano, sorry, for like violin, yeah, that takes you for like hours, hundreds of hours to become professional in it. And in addition to that, clarinet, I would say that clarinet would be another instrument that you must have a teacher support, because you have to learn how to control the tone and your tone, and the way that you control the clarinet is vital when learning it, and you cannot do it without the support of your teacher. Okay, so let's talk about mhm, mhm, this by okay. Okay, so today I am going to talk about a park or a garden in my city that I have a strong interest in. That is Ecosystem Park in Hanoi. And so the park is located in the center of Hanoi, which is in Hoàn Kiếm district. Yeah, and I usually go there with my friends, and I often spend my weekends every weekends up there. So The reason that makes me have a strong interest in that place is that it brings me the memory, in which I really vividly remember that I used to be a shy boy, and a shy I used to be a shy and introvert boy, and that w- that do not that hadn't afraid a fear of going out. But when my parents took me to that place, I see the beauty of the nature, and I see how fun, how happily that people enjoy were enjoying, which is why it creates, a, it create a feeling it created a feeling inside me that I have to go out more. And another reason that makes me that I love this park is because it is the ecosystem park in which everything is green here, and from that my and it will benefit my creativity, because I didn't I wasn't I didn't recognize it until I was in university, because according to a research I learned at school, uh, if if people spend a lot of time on an eco park, their creativity and inspiration inside them will be beneficial, which is why when every time I am like and which is why when every time I lack of ideas, and I was in short of inspiration, I will spend my time out here to recover it, to looking for discovery. And another reason for me to have a huge interest for this spray is because ecosystem this ecosystem park in Hanoi brings me inner peace. And I op- and as I mentioned before, I usually spend for like every weekend, every Sunday out here, and I will spend for like all the morning in this place just to meditate, and meditate in such a greeny place like this, a greeny area like this will bring me a lot of peace and calmness, which is why I love to be here. In the future, I think that, and tomorrow is Sunday, so in this coming Sunday, I will go there with my friends again and to do meditate, as well as searching for inspirations and ideas from it. Hmm. Okay, so do young people like to go to parks? Well, yeah, absolutely yes, because parks to young people, they are like a play for them. They are like places for them to gather to each other and share their story about their school or their parents. So as a result, they will a strong connection between them will be formed. So take me as an example. I used to spend my time with my friends at parks, so that I could it's a good place for me to share stories, experience, as well as planning for the future. Mhm. Okay, so what do old people like to do in parks? Hmm, let's see. I would say that old people, they like to go there to enjoy the atmosphere of tranquility, in which, in addition to that, they will they have a strong interest in parks, and because it is a good place for them to do exercise, such as jogging or even cycling. My grandmother used to go to the my grandmother usually goes to the eco park to to cycle with her friends every Wednesday. And sometimes, old people Wednesday goes there. Old people go there to do something such as yoga, and they might even have a lot of conversations to each other in that place, which is why they love to go to parks. Mhm. So, what are the benefits of going to park for young people and old people? Interesting question. Let me see. Mhm. So I would say that the the biggest benefit of going to the park for both young and old generations is that they will find peace and tranquility up there. Um, when they spend time to go there, they will enjoy the air of being peaceful, and additionally it is a good place for them to do exercise, and so and and alongside with that, finding friends, is the it's a core benefit. I would say it's core benefits of going to the park, because I have met a lot of old and young people become best friends to each other by spending time to go to park together a lot. So why do some people like planting flowers? Interesting question. Uh, let's see. Planting flowers play a crucial role in helping people to do something to relieve stress and anxiety after a long day of work, or maybe a long day of study. So, and that is because each flowers has their own meaning. Let's just say that cactus, for example, cactus represents sturdiness and intrepidness, which is why that I have met a lot of people who are shy and introvert. Uh, they brand they brand cactus flowers to represent as as a good way for them to nurture their bravery. And also it is the fun way to do. I mean, I would say that it is a good way for them to kill their time, because they the person who have a strong love for parenting, they are maybe someone who have a lot of free time, and they want to do something. They do not want to waste it, which is why planting flowers will be a good option, a wonderful options for them. Okay, so describe a foreigner you know who speak Vietnamese, your language well. Tom Hardy. Tom. Okay, so today I am going to talk about a foreigner, a foreigner that I know speaking Vietnamese extremely well. That is Tom. He comes from the USA, and I we met each other on Twitter about for like 2 years ago. So um, before knowing me, Tom used to take a course, a Vietnamese course online on Coursera, but yeah, he found that course wasn't effective to him, which is why he came to me on Twitter and on Twitter and asked me to teach him how to speak Vietnamese. So I vividly remember that at the beginning of the learning process, Tom was struggle with speaking a word in Vietnamese because he is not he learned a language that he never know, and he even learned it from a person who wasn't a teacher in teaching Vietnamese. Yeah, but right now I could say that he is kind of like a good user in Vietnamese, which is equal to like 7 point IELTS, band 7 IELTS, but for Vietnamese. And the reason that I think that the reason that makes he become so successful in learning Vietnamese come from comes from three things. The first reason is about he had a strong passion for this language. And I remember that when I asked him why do you want to learn Vietnamese, why did he want to, why he wanted to learn Vietnamese so badly, he's, he told me that he want to he enjoy the food here, and he loves the culture, and the people out here. So the second reason is that he have a right direction. Yeah, he knew that he learned Vietnamese because he wanted to talk to Vietnamese people, and he wanted to understand more about the people out here by himself, which is why he will learn that he will not he didn't learn to he didn't aim to study this language for taking the certificate or a course, but for talking to people. That is the right direction from it. And the third reason that I have to say I acutely admire from him is that he have just a firm discipline when learning Vietnamese. He's he always spend for like at least 2 to 3 hours daily just to learn Vietnamese. And I remember that there was there was a day he was extremely tired. He was, I would say, exhausted, but he still called me and told me to call me and asked me to teach him Vietnamese, even though I advised him to spend time to rest. That is why that's why Tom to me is a good for a best example of a foreigner that I know who speaks Vietnamese well. and and I still remember that he learned it from me. We call each other for like 2 to 3 hours daily. So what foreign languages do Vietnamese children learn? Um, currently I would say that not just Vietnamese children, but children from every country in the world must learn English, because English is kind of like a global language. And by and when it comes to Vietnamese children, uh, I would say it in the macro level. Um, Vietnam is currently a potential country nation that attracts a lot of investment from foreigners. So by letting children how to learn English, they in the future it will benefit them a lot in the future. And a great example for this is that my cousin, she is 7 years old now, and I would say that she has a good level of English. not like an expert or expertise in English, but she can now talk about most daily topic in English with foreigners confidently. So why do Vietnamese children learn English? Um, as I mentioned before, it will be beneficial for them in the future. Is the first thing, and additionally, it will have it will help them to communicate with global communities in the future, because we live in an either globalization sorry globalizational era, in which that countries from all over the world are talking and connecting to each other. So that is why that children in Vietnam are learning English. And according to the research I read before, there are about for like 10 million of children in Vietnam can talk to for native speakers in English fluently in daily topics such as like study, cooking, or dreams. So why are there so many people learning English? Oh my god. Yeah, it's kind of weird that it is the third time I have to answer this question, but yeah. But to be honest, I would say that job opportunity is the main reason for people to learn English, and it is especially true when it comes to Vietnamese job market. So uh, in this modern era, uh, people have a predisposition to learn English because it will play a crucial role in helping them to looking for a job and helping them to talk to their colleagues. So uh, let's just say that for me, for my friends, for example, he has a band 8 in IELTS. So even though unemployed for he was unemployed for during the COVID-19 in 2020, he still could find a job. He could still find a job to open the class by himself to teach English for children online. That is the huge advantage of knowing English. Yeah, and another reason that why so many people learning English is because English nowadays it's not a skills anymore. To me, it's not a skill anymore, but it it is like a second language that we must learn. Just like in Canada, people must know English and French. Yeah. So how can you help children learn English? Um, let's see. Interesting question. Would you mind if I have a couple seconds to think? Um, I would say that to be honest, I am not a teacher. I am not a good teacher, but there's one thing that I am always proud. I am always proud when it comes to helping children to learn English, is to help them identify the essence of English, which is unlike many teachers in at school today. They are just teaching grammar or vocabulary that the textbook require them to do. For example, you learn about present simple, then today you have to teach your children about present simple, then you have to teach it. But to me, when I am asked to deliver that lesson to children, I would say I would give them I would let them to understand the core, the essence, the nature of present simple. Like why do we have to learn this tense, and why do we, and what will help them in the future. This will be a good way for children to this is a good way for them to access the information, and as a result they will gain knowledge, this knowledge more easily, and it could be a good way for them to, it could be a good motivation for them to learn, to study. So do you think the way people learn English today is the same as in the past? um I would say that is not, because I would say that it's totally different, because I still remember that 2 decades ago, people have a tendency to learn had a tendency to learn English by by memorizing a lot of grammars and vocabulary. But that fact is not true at this current time, in this current time, because English nowadays requires people to engage more with each other, so that they will learn it, they will easily learn it, and remember it, learn and remember it. So, for example, when my parents, when they study English for like 2 to 3 decades ago, they have to learn a lot about tenses and grammar structures, as well as they had to do a lot of vocabulary exercises, and there is small there were a small amount of time for them to do some speaking exercises. But right now, like right now, my sisters and I, we have a huge chances and opportunity of learning English, because right now we can learn it everywhere. We can practice to speak literally everywhere, on YouTube, and going outside, and even we can talk to each other in the kitchen. Yeah. So, what are the benefits of the internet for people learning? Um, I would say that internet play plays a crucial role, that they are vital to the learning process of people. And to me, internet is like uh, a library, or sometimes a gigantic encyclopedia for me to study new things, because as far as we know that as far as we know, internet, it has diverse topics for us to learn, not just about languages, but also about politics, astrology, even for like religions. Yeah. So it is, and there are some advantages for it, and sorry, and in addition to the diversity advantages, and the I would say that the we can easily access the information to study it, because unlike offline materials to study, uh, all information on the internet for us to learn, we can freely access it without any effort to buy or to search. All you need to do is to go to Google and search, to search for the keywords that you want to study. So let's just say that I want to study about Saint Lucia, which is a country in Caribbean. Yeah, I want to learn about Saint Lucia. So I would Google it like I would Google it like facts about Saint Lucia, and the result is enormous. I would say that for like 2 to 3 million results for me. Yeah, so that is why, and another reason, that are the two main benefits of the internet in helping people to learn, which are the variety of informations, and the ease of finding information.